Hey everyone, and I am back with another pedalboard rig rundown. Today we are going to go check out Jack Bennett from the band Bad Habit. He's playing over at this really cool little food truck food court, and I gotta say I love it. It's called 420 Eats. They have all kinds of great food trucks for you to choose from, and we're going to go listen to him play tonight and see what he's running on his board. So let's go.
Where the faces are so cold, drive all night just to get back home. On a steel horse I ride, and
All right, everyone, that was my first time ever hearing Bad Habit, and we have the amazingly talented Mr. Jack Bennett here.
Thank you for having me.
Man, you were freaking awesome, by the way. Seriously, I'm very much so impressed. So let's go ahead and just jump right into your rig and take a look at it and see what you got.
All right.
So I see you've got a pretty extensive pedal board set up. So give me, I guess, your signal chain flow.
So with Bad Habit, you know, we cover a little bit of everything, rock, pop, country, so there's a lot of different sounds to cover. My newest addition to my board is actually this Shure wireless unit that I threw on today.
Oh, is that the GL, what, DX?
DLX, I think,
Okay.
or something like that. But
Yeah, I hear those are really good.
it seems to be working pretty well so far. Then our other guitarist, Brody, and I both just put these new MXR Rockman pedals on, which we're still kind of tinkering with, but for the Def Leppard sound, you know, that's the sound, so we got to make sure we have that.
All right. Yeah, you
yeah.
guys killed it on the Hysteria.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. A couple different drive options. So the Boss Blues Driver is kind of my always on, I want to say. Keep it at a moderate gain level. This Pigtronics Octava pedal I recently got for Kenny Wayne Shepherd's Blue on Black. It just kind of adds that effect that he's got on the guitar solos on that song. My secret weapon that not a lot of people would really appreciate other than guitarists is I've got one of the actual Klon pedals.
Nice.
It's not the Centaur Klon, but it's one of the Klon pedals. I guess the KTR is the model of it that he basically built so it'd be in a smaller container than the Centaur. But yeah, it pretty much covers any drive sound that I need to, depending on how I set it. All my modulation across the top, it's kind of the standard stuff, the Phase 90 flanger, one of the original Boss CE2s before the Wazacraft
Wow.
modifications and all that.
Yeah.
The synthesizer is, I use it here and there, kind of sparingly, but it's one of those things where, like, we open most of our shows with another brick in the wall, so while Brody's doing the solo, I'm holding down the synth pad under that, and people always ask, like, do we have tracks running, because they don't see any keyboards up here, but I'm like, no, everything we do is live, so that's kind of what we pride ourselves on, but that's pretty much it. The harmonist I use whenever we play Those Shoes by the Eagles, which really works because that song has two talk boxes running in harmony, but we don't have two talk boxes stuck here, so that lets me do both parts through the 1-2.
So let me ask you this: is this like a custom-made pedal board, or is this something that you can buy offline? Because I see you got the wooden sides here and everything.
So the board itself is from Creation Music Company. I believe they're based out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. I want to say this is a 24x16, but it's I got it for a deal. Frankly, to be honest, I got it off Facebook Marketplace, but I've got how many? I've got 3 other boards from them that let me just different sizes for different things. So I use one in my acoustic rig. I use one for our Tom Petty tribute band, and then one's just kind of sitting around with nothing on it except a bunch of Velcro and dog hair.
Nice. Well, that was a pretty extensive walk down of the rig over here, and I gotta say I am jonesing for some new pedals now. So, yeah. But tell me, what is your greatest musical influence?
It kind of differs daily. Overall, top answer is Joe Perry from Aerosmith.
Oh, right on.
Little fun fact, I've gotten to actually play with him twice.
What?
Out in Vegas, one time with my brother, who's our drummer. We went out and did this camp out there, and we got to play with like him, Vince Neil, Lou Graham from Forerunner, so a bunch of musicians.
Wow.
Of that caliber.
Man, that's awesome. I love some Aerosmith.
Oh, yeah.
They have some amazing songs.
Right. The one song that nobody likes is the one song that did the best. So.
That's how it goes, right?
Yeah.
Okay, one last question since we're kind of trying to cram this thing in there. What is your favorite guitar pedal?
Desert Island guitar pedal is probably going to be, I want to say the Rockman pedal, even
Right
though
on.
it's probably my least used in a live sense.
Yeah.
It's just one of my favorite sounds of all time because it's that classic, Boston. Tom
Yeah.
Schultz, he built all those, so it's such a unique guitar tone, but if you hear it, you immediately think, well, musicians at least, we
Yeah.
immediately call back to Boston and Def Leppard. So.
You know what? I'm going to agree with you on that. And after hearing you guys play some of that song tonight, Hysteria, I was just thinking, damn, I wonder what they're using because I'm going to go and try and get that
Right,
pedal.
right.
So, well, thank you so much
Yeah,
for
thank you.
being on the rundown. And I guess have a great rest of the show, man.
Thank you so much.